good, everybody? I am Winston A, Marshall, aka the Swaggy Blurred, and this is my spoiler review of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Whoa, I was having a full-on flashback right now. I know this is a little bit late. The movie's been out, but I just wanted some time to kind of process my thoughts. I already did a lot of coverage for this over on Capes and Cows with Christian and Coy, but I wanted to come and kind of give my thoughts on it. We really dived pretty deep into that, but I just, give you a little bit of love, put some more content up here for you all to talk about and all that kind of stuff. Again, this is spoiler review, so make sure you've seen the movie, or if you don't care, whatever you want to do. But yeah, man, I am thoroughly blown away from Across the Spider-Verse. I really, really am. The main themes that we really see out of it is both, an acceptance of self, which is really amazing, and then the idea of what mentors really mean to us, and what fate means to us, and the things that you cannot change. Really reminding me of that old AA serenity prayer. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, the wisdom to know the difference. That is really what's going on here. Is Miles trying to figure out what are the hard, fast things that can't be fixed, and what are the things that we're really going to dive in and try and go for. Now, I love all of the multitude of Spider people cameos, man. I seeing the amalgamation of the Jessica Drews as Spider-Woman is amazing, because the OG original Spider-Woman was black, and then you got pregnant Jessica Drew, Spider-Woman, so you kind of did like a fusion dance of those two characters, which is awesome. Bombastic Bagman made a quick little appearance. Lego Spider-Man was freaking hilarious, even for the little short moment in time. Getting the ultimate every Spider-Man pointing at each other at the same time. I loved it. Hobie Brown, Daniel Kaluuya is probably my MVP for this film. I've taken the time to think about it. I've gone all over the place about what part I like the most. Hobie Brown is just so effing good. I think the only other things up there that really just fully grabbed my attention, the Donald Glover cameo with him as fully the Prowler, which is super awesome to see that live action kind of the little jump into the Venomverse. I know into the Venom world. I know a lot of people don't love those Venom movies. I have fun with them, so it's cool to see Miss Kim. That was really funny. But I just really love the relationship between kids and their parents or their mentors, and parenting as well. So Miguel feels really like a failure as a father because he couldn't protect his family, so he goes to another world to do that. He ends up collapsing an entire universe, and the guilt that comes with that his selfish desires led to the collapse of an entire universe of people, of Miles not accepting the fact that we have to sacrifice people or happiness in order to save folks, that there is a way to save everyone, and sometimes there's not, and we'll really see in Beyond the Spider-Verse if Miles can do it. But it was great to see that too, and really dive into that. I think there's a really big heart. You see Miles talking to his mom and her make sure that you protect my little boy, and that you don't let anybody tell him that he doesn't belong. But I think that the main parent-child heart that I loved watching was Gwen and her father. Oh man, that was rough. That was really rough to see, because you've got this guy who's essentially choosing duty over family, and how many times have we seen that where in life where they're really stuck between a rock and a hard place, and they're going to make a decision and it doesn't always go in favor of the person that you love. So I thought it was so powerful to see that as the opening, and to see how much hurt that had. It actually had a lot. Some people are going to be like, oh, you're being woke about it. Whatever. I talk about whatever the fuck I want to on my channel. I love how that was almost like an allegory sort of for sexuality. In a lot of cases, you'll see somebody that they might come out to their parent, and their parent is very dismissive and is like, my God, if you're religious, you're like, my God doesn't allow me to believe that. I don't believe in that, all that kind of stuff. And then you're kind of throwing your kid out. But then there's this come to Jesus meeting, pun sort of intended, in Act 2, end of Act 2, beginning of Act 3 for Gwen, where she meets back up with her dad and has this like, I'm just trying to be the person you raised me to be. I'm trying to be that good person, and him clearly still loving his daughter. And realizing that ultimate sacrifice was like, I quit the force because you're my daughter and I love you, and I would whatever I needed to do to protect you and to do right by you and all that. I thought it was such a beautiful little allegory for that. And it really had that kind of idea of a parent accepting who a child is, both who they are innately and the choices that they make with their life. That's really what you saw out of Gwen's parents, out of Miles's parents. Hell, even with Peter B. Parker, who was like an uncle essentially to Miles, his mentor, accepting as well that this is the kid that helped get him back where he needed to be. And so that, even though he knows what needs to happen, having faith and support in his mentee and really being there for him. And I think that is the big takeaway out of this movie, is to be there for the ones that are important to you and the ones that you love. I really love that. And I love that you took a villain like the Spot and you actually made him a legitimate threat by giving him all this power now that he's unraveling the multiverse. So I had so much fun with this movie, man. I cannot wait for part 3 Beyond the Spider-Verse next year. I think it's next March. But I want to know what you think, man. Please tell me in the comments, what do you think about Across the Spider-Verse? 208 out of the gate, bro. I don't know if it's going to hit a Billy, but it's probably going to hit at least 8. That's my guess. I'm going to guess that it's going to hit about 800 before it's all said and done, but I would love to see it cross a billion. Be sure, if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel. I do lots of reviews. I do a lot of comedy stuff. My Breakfast AM News, which I do over on Instagram and TikTok. I do a weekly recap where I take all of those stories and make one long video. I actually need to go and edit the one from last week and throw that up here for y'all. And then comedy sketches as well. I've got some more stuff coming. I just got to wait for my leg to fully heal to finish filming the rest of those. But the more of that stuff coming out. But please subscribe to the channel, show some love. Throw a comment of what your favorite part about Across the Spider-Verse, or if you didn't like it, why not? Be respectful. Don't be a dick about it to the people in the comments. But I would love to know your thoughts, man. What would you have changed if it didn't quite do it for you? With that, I'm going to get up out of here. Y'all stay safe. Remember, with great power comes great responsibility. You already know what it is, baby. I'm Swaggy Bird. Peace.